It was a blockbuster article that caused a national uproar over sexual assault. Rolling Stone charging that an accuser named Jackie was the victim of a horrifying gang rape by fraternity members at the University of Virginia.
A major American university tonight has a lot to answer for now that claims of a particularly shocking sexual assault have been made public.
The story gradually fell apart due in part to reporting by the Washington Post, and this week police said they found no evidence to support what Jackie told the magazine about being raped and assaulted.
We're not able to conclude to any substantive degree that an incident that is consistent with the facts contained in that article occurred at the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity house or any other fraternity house for that matter.
Susan Fricio, does the Rolling Stone story have any shred of credibility left?
None, in my opinion. And I think what it says, the fact that we're still clinging to the idea that something happened, we don't know what happened, and Rolling Stone is now, a review is being conducted by Columbia University journalism students. I suspect they'll come out with something that is still somewhat forgiving to Rolling Stone. And I think that will be wrong, because what they failed to do were the basic journalism 101 checks here, where you just make sure you talk to the other side, you tell them you're writing the story.
You talk to the other side. In fact, Rolling Stone allowed the reporter Sabrina Erdely not to even approach the alleged attackers, to see what they had to say.
This is a trend, Howard. If you look at other reporting, new media reporting, there was a recent story that Scott Walker's budget left out any requirement for sexual assault reporting. It was wrong. It was re-reported by several other new media outlets. Nobody did the prerequisite checks that, as a journalist, in my early days, I never would have been allowed to file or write a story that did not have those basic checks. What's happening? Nobody's doing their basic requirements as a reporter.
It's the run-and-gun culture. And Joe Concha, the investigation by the police contradicted key details of Jackie's account, including the fact that there was no fraternity party on the night she said she was assaulted. And she met with police, but she wouldn't discuss the incident.
It's over, Howie. That's the question that you asked before. And you would think, now that the Charlottesville Police Department has come forward and said there's no evidence, and as you said, the Washington Post doing great work in just tearing apart this story, and from the very beginning, by the way. If you go, and I invite viewers to do the story in the commercial because this segment is tremendous, but go to Google and type in rape on campus. The first thing that comes up is the Rolling Stone story. It's still on their website, Howie. If I got it wrong, I'd get that down in a hurry. There is a disclaimer from Will Dana, the managing editor. It says, "We apologize to anybody who may have been affected by this story, but nothing about the Charlottesville findings. That's a whole bowl of wrong." And then you have the Columbia review, which I don't have to go to Columbia to ask the writer, "Hey, did you interview the accused?" No. Will Dana or Sean Woods, the managing editor, "How did you vet this story?" "Well, we don't know." "Okay, why did we run it?" Or Coco McPherson, who's the fact checker, who Matt Taibbi once compared to an IRS auditor in terms of what gets in that magazine and what doesn't. What did you do? Were you spell checking the fraternity name? What was going on there? So if I'm Jan Wemmer, I am absolutely getting my checkbook out, because there's going to be lawsuits here, Howie, multiple ones, and the lawyers I've spoken to says Rolling Stone does not have a leg to stand on here.
Well, the police found even that Jackie didn't call her mother that night as she had claimed, that they couldn't find the man she claimed to have been on a date with before she went to the fraternity. And remember, Rolling Stone initially defended this story and then put out a statement that kind of blamed Jackie and then took it back. So not exactly owning up to, or clearly, I mean, we used to say the story was flawed. I mean, I think the story is just utterly blown up on this magazine.
It is, and what I liked most about Reese Shapiro's reporting at the Washington Post was that's real reporting. They looked under every stone, every corner, and they really just tore that story apart.
And got friends to go on the record.
Yes, and by doing basic reporting. Nothing here is rocket science. This is just going and doing your job. And why Rolling Stone feels that this is, you know, it makes me question everything else that's ever been printed in that magazine. They feel like this is their standard. We don't want to interrupt the narrative. The narrative's more important than the facts. That's really troubling because it undermines our credibility.
We all make mistakes. This was a huge one, and it has taken a long time, and Rolling Stone still has not owned up to it. We'll wait for the Columbia Journalism School review. Susan Fricio, Joe Concha in New York, thanks very much.